So you're talking to Dr. Michael Levin's people, what they say.
I talked with a young biophysicist in Canada.
In Canada, but from the top medical school.
She worked as a fellow, I believe that's the term. She worked in Mike Levin's lab, and then she got a promotion and a job teaching and doing research at a Canadian university. And her field is biophysics, so biology and physics. And she says that she thinks that it is the physics which is going to change biology. In other words, the physics, that would be the quantum, the quantum theories. What you're working with now, you could. I wondered if you might describe your work as using physics to change.
On the physics, number one, the physics have a two part. One is the classical physics. One is Einstein's the quantum physics. The two physics. So when you look in anything, they have two things. So when you just, for example, you look at my coffee, it's only a coffee. But on the quantum physics, the coffee is different. Because they can see, they mean go to the molecule. Or even though the molecule, how about the graviton, they have more, we need to understand, not just say it is a coffee.
Smallest particles.
Yeah, the small one is we call the micro and the macro. So a lot of the people, in fact, the two things, the West, separate the two things. For example, we are talking the cell. Michael Levin is more studies on the cell.
Yes.
So on the cell have two things. He is the cell number one is the form of a chemical. We not deny the form of chemical, but the chemical, will the chemical carry the energy?
No.
Yes.
Oh, it does.
They must.
Okay.
So he is focused on the bioelectricity.
Right.
Okay. So bioelectricity with the cell, this means the chemical or structure or the form, one is in the molecule. But another thing, each molecule they must carry the energy. So the energy, he is focused on the bioelectricity, or we call the electron. So the electron can change the cell, can change the chemical. If for example, the cell is a battery. So if the cell is a battery, then the battery like your cell phone.
Has to be charged.
You have to be charged. So then is another thing in the study. So besides the electron, we still have a photon. Then also, any object, they must have the graviton.
Right.
So to the graviton and the photon, then we should think that it is an energy also. So not is the bioelectricity or electron. So if they come on the photon, for example, like the flower, the plant, the tree, they need is not only water and chemical. The plant they need more important is the sunshine.
Yes.
So what is meant by sunshine? Not the heat. It is a photon. So we know on the plant they call it photosynthesis. So because when they get the photon, they transfer to the electron in the plant.
So the plant takes the photon and turns it into an electron?
Yeah, transfer to the electron. Then they can change the CO2 or they cut the air for what we need.
Yeah.
So our body is formed by the cell. Our body needs the photon. Our body has the photon synthesis. Yes.
Yes, it has to.
We have to. So we just say, okay, we are all time talking about the now beginning of electron, or called the bioelectricity.
Yeah.
Now we should pay attention to the photon also. They call the biophoton.
Right.
So the biophoton already beginning a lot of study. So no doubt, but besides the photon, if the photon and the graviton together, what we call
the photon and the graviton, the gravity
photon.
Gravity photon. Yeah.
So that is a fifth dimension, right?
That's
But still nobody pay attention on the graviton.
Yeah.
So of course nobody pay attention on the gravity photon because they belong to the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
So that is the type.
That's the challenge.
Because they still not proved on the lab by the gravity photon, the fifth dimension,
Not proved on the, what was that word?
on the laboratory.
Oh, the laboratory, yeah.
So there's the people, if you're not on the laboratory, then the people are afraid to do it all, of course, no money to do that kind of research.
Yeah.
So you talking the fifth dimension sounds like you in the psychic already.
It does.
No, it's not the
It's
psychic, it's not the
fiction.
stereo dimension or
Yeah.
the multi-dimension.
Yeah.
So that is what the people are afraid. But because I do not have any degree, I do not have a PhD master, I didn't finish the junior high school either. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I say I go to do that kind of study. So on that kind of study is, in fact, the gravity photon is an anti-gravity. So 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago, I already begin and try to do the anti-gravity healing. So, and then of course, our technique keep growing. So, on the 5 years or 6 years ago, I think, so I already do the anti-gravity.
What was did you make a machine 6 years ago?
I made the device.
Yeah.
Yeah, then put it all in my machine. But on that time, I didn't put it the photon
Oh.
in. So only the graviton. So now we combine with the photon. They completely different. So you can see in our practice how fast the result.
Yes.
For example, this Monday,
Yes.
I with Dr. Eva
Eva, yeah.
and Dr. Sean here.
Yeah.
Then I said, okay, let me do the study. So on the study, we use the gravity photon for the waste loss. Waste.
Right.
So 3 people in our study, we are only 15 minutes. 3 people both, each one lost 2 inches.
And that was Dr. Eager and Dr. Sean?
Yeah. Dr. Shane, yeah.
Shane, okay.
Yeah. So they both in here, and other people here also. So we made the recording on the video, during the study. So, but we are not advertising because on that kind of waste loss, we challenge to the whole world because it is from the repeatable result.
Right.
So our percentage so far, 80 people, only 1 not work. 79 people, each one lost from 1 to 5 inches.
Any idea why one didn't work?
No idea.
No idea.
Yeah. So because only like you buy the gold, it's not 100% either, right? You know.
Yeah.
So I like it that one is not work because they prove that the science.
Exactly.
So the science, even though you made it the computer, the chip, it's not 100% whatever.
Yeah.
So everything must have the percent. If 80 people will not work, what do you think?
You think that
So there's something we need to study.
something that you don't know yet.
Well,
Yeah.
so, but we are happy, 80 people, only 1 not work.
Yeah, that's high.
Too high already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So each study they must have the kind of negative percentage.
Yeah.
So that is what we are studying now. So another thing is that we have the chemical and the energy. So the chemical is the form of the object. But if you have the form of the object they must have the energy. But so if you on Newton's classical physics and quantum physics, the two ways to put it the energy to the object.
Can you give an example for each?
For example, on the double slit experiment.
Right.
So if you are not interfere, then all the particle and the wave is mass. But if you interfere, then you observe.
Yeah.
Then all the particle will change. So this is the classical physics and quantum physics, two different ways. So on the classical physics, we call it the materialism.
The
Materialism?
materialism?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Materialism. Another one, quantum physics, is the realism.
are those scientific terms that are given, or is that
Realism, yes.
Yeah.
Science. So the materialism and the realism, they argue for 200 years. So of course, on education, more people is believe the materialism, but not the realism. So the time changed after the double slit experiment.
Yeah.
Everything changed. Because
That's
then
1700. Yeah, that's the 18th century.
No.
Double
Yeah.
1700.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so that is the
200
beginning.
years. Yeah.
So the beginning change. So observation can change
Yeah.
the form of the molecule or the cell. So on the models studying, the mind changed the water, the form of the water.
Right.
So another thing is another studying, the mind can change the plants and the flowers, the growing.
The mind can the mind can make the flowers grow.
Yes,
or-
more beautiful or more whatever.
Is
So
that-
that means mind can change the cell, no doubt.
Now that's realism, not materialism.
Yes.
Right? So and we.
But two things cannot be separate. Yeah, we are not separate. But the people study on materialism all time laughing the realism. They say it is a superstition.
Yeah.
It's not superstition because you are still not on that level to understand it. If you studying on the double slit experiment,
Right.
so your whole idea change. Mind can change the math.
And is mind and observation the same? Like you're observing, you're seeing it with your mind. Is that what that means?
On the double slit
slit,
experiment is to prove the mind can change the wave and the particle.
Right.
So that is on the study. Now, on the beginning, they use a photon. And later, they use an electron on that kind of study. So, if we want to more advanced, we should go into the realism also. So don't separate the materialism and the realism separate.
So in other words, if you use the knowledge from materialism and
Because
realism,
both is a knowledge.
you have a better
And
understanding.
different way to put it the particle for healing to the body.
Okay.
So your body is affected by the particle and wave. So how? So for example, then we have the sun. The sun is a photon. The photon only on your skin. Then not getting deeper. So on the quantum physics, no. The sun can go deep to the body with you on the observation effect. They can entangle your body's photon, the biophoton. So this means they can charge. So that is our device. Use the mind, use the observation effect to change the object. So put it how to put it graviton and photon and electron go to the body. For example, one thing is very simple. When you charge your cell phone, you plug it in, and yes, the electricity going in.
Yeah.
But the cell phone now, the cell phone you don't need. You just put it on the plate. No touch. They still can charge the cell phone.
I'm put it on the.
Put the charge.
Yeah.
Now the charge is not only plugged in, you can put it on the device to charge the cell phone. So
that's the example.
That is an example. So we can use the mind with the observation effect, send the particle into deep inside the body. Did I make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, and I think it's really important when you say use the mind with the observation effect. That really.
But the observation effect is too simple, too easy, not make sense on the non-classical physics. So the people are afraid to use it. So now we have a lot of people talking mind, body, and spirit. So what is the mind? So the mind only for yourself. Okay, your meditation is the mind.
Yeah.
So meditation is that you observe yourself.
Right.
So you observe yourself, and how about you be observed?
That's not.
Be observed. That is mean. Be observed. That means you have the observer from outside.
Yeah.
So the particle more easy go to the body.
Right.
But the people on the meditation, they never figure out. They say, okay, you do meditation, observe yourself. But
it doesn't
like
change.
you do massage,
Right.
you can do yourself massage, or you can have someone do it for you. But two different feelings.
Yeah.
Two different results.
Yeah.
Right?
Very.
So when you the massage, the people work on you. That is like the observation from outside.
That makes sense. Very cool.
Right? And you do it yourself, massage, they move. You cannot say they not move.
Yeah.
But the feeling different, the result is different.
It's very different.
Yeah.
And
So
it doesn't go as deep.
yes.
Yeah.
So that is different, you know.
Yeah.
So that is what our studying is continuing.
Tom, I have a question. Do you think that realism and materialism, that the philosophies are so different that that's the challenge for people who to see that they both apply and they.
Mm-hmm. No, it's only the thing is both is from the universe.
Yeah.
So that is from universe. So dependent on the education.
Yeah.
Now in America, you can see even though the baby beginning to know about the cat,
Right.
stranger's cat in the box. So if the education is very important.
Yeah.
But all the college, on the last 100, 200 years,
Yeah.
they all is teaching is educate in Newton's classical physics.
Right.
So that is all the studying is on the materialism.
Yeah.
So the education is important. But when you get education on the quantum physics, then your mind will be changed.
Yeah.
You look in the world, it's different.
Very different.
Yeah. So that is in our study.
Powerful.
And that is the physics in the universe. Not only one way. So the human being have the mind. So even though the animal have the mind also.
Yeah.
So with the human mind, we should use our mind as a power of healing.
Yeah.
Right? Not just dependent only chemical
Yeah.
or the surgery, mechanical. So if we someday, I believe, because the beginning. But a lot of people say they are quantum physics or quantum healing.
Yeah.
Too many people say, oh, we are the quantum healing. So on the quantum healing, what is the major thing for the quantum healing?
It's got to be
The mind.
Okay.
So I sell you a stone. I sell you some supplement.
Yeah.
They can call they are the quantum physics. But one thing, what they mean?
They're not talking about observation.
Yeah, then on the quantum physics, more important because it's a realism.
Yeah.
So they need observation. Not just say I give you a stone, I give you a cream or a pill or chemical.
Yeah.
So that is our difference. So our difference, the difference is observation effect from the mind.
Yeah.
So where is our observation effect come from? Not only from Tong Ren. The last 30 years, I formed the consciousness. So our consciousness is called the Tong Ren. It's based on Carl Jung's collective unconscious. So our power of the observation is from the Tong Ren collective unconscious.
That's very important.
There is there's no misleading.
Yeah.
Not to say how strong, how powerful Tong Ren is.
Yeah.
No, we are the group. We are the collective. So, what do you think now?
It makes.
You need to think it.
Yeah, no, but it makes. I've been thinking about this and reading your books, and it makes. And I've read a little bit about Carl Jung, and
we need to combine all the knowledge we already have. So not to say only chemical, and chemical again and again.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.